My younger brother has been jealousy-inducingly handsome since he was a child, his looks developing much faster than his brain. So, I once grabbed him by the hair and made him write a pledge, promising to introduce me to his best-looking friend in the future. The summer after graduation, he actually brought 5 guys home. 4 were in basketball jerseys and greeted me in unison. They quickly went upstairs to game. Only one ignored me completely. Until midnight, he suddenly pressed me down onto the sofa and bit the rim of my ear. He whispered, "Sis, are you planning to deny everything?" My brother Leo Ye has had a disastrously good-looking face since childhood. They say handsome guys hang out with other handsome guys, so I made him sign that pledge. I insisted he introduce me to his most handsome friend later on. But I never expected that years later, he would actually bring a whole group of friends home. The teenagers stood in a row, hair wet with sweat, drops rolling down their necks highlighting their youthful energy. They called out in unison, "Hello sis." For a moment, I didn't know who to pick, who to greet first. Leo grinned like an idiot. "Sis, exam scores are coming out soon, so we want to celebrate one last time, your treat, right?" I suppressed the urge to beat him up and smiled gently. "It is hot, come inside. I will order takeout." "You are the best, sorry for the trouble." They chirped and went inside. I was about to grab Leo's ear when I noticed another person standing in the hallway. He wore a baseball cap, head down hiding most of his face, but his exposed neck was pale against his blacked shirt, with an eye-catching mole on his collarbone. I stared for a few seconds as that mole looked familiar. "Asher Song, what are you doing there? Come in," Leo called. "Yeah," he replied softly and walked in. Hearing that voice, my memory snapped back to the past. That night, neon lights from the window cast shadows on the wall like a coiled beast. In the glass vase, roses bloomed seductively, water droplets rolling down the wet petals. In my daze, someone leaned close to my ear and laughed softly, "Sis, relax a little. Damn it, it is not just familiar. I kissed that mole last month." I spun around, grabbing Leo, trying to make my voice sound as normal as possible. "Did these friends of yours just finish the college entrance exam? Wait, if they are not of age, did I just commit a crime?" Leo looked at me like I was an alien. "Asher isn't, he is a year older than me." "Oh, so he is an adult." I peeked at Asher. He turned, lips curving meaningfully. "I am 19. That sentence nailed me to the spot, freezing my entire body. I stared as he and Leo walked upstairs. Was that normal banter between a brother's friend and a sister? Or did he recognize me? No way. That night I was a femme fatale with red lips and curls. But today I appeared bare-faced in a baggy t-shirt, eyebrows not even drawn. I ordered food for Leo's friends, then flopped onto the bed, ignoring the world as my mind rewound to that memory. Last month I was in a bad mood and dragged myself to a bar. Flashing red and green lights, men and women dancing wildly. Relieving stress. I didn't want to dance or drink more, so I just swiped my card to send some bottles to the next table. The guys there immediately tried to chat, asking if I wanted to join them. I refused, so they thought I just wanted to spend money for fun. People usually pay money to find amusement, but I spent money like a crazy person. Hearing I had money, their eyes lit up like headlights, and one guy got close, winking. "Beauty, are you still single?" I got goosebumps and dodged him, then saw a boy at the next table holding the drink I had just sent. Strong alcohol made his neck flush red, his ears bright pink like they were about to bleed. He squinted, sipping the cold drink with long white fingers. His raven black hair paired with those red ears created a visual impact that made me unconsciously swallow. He drank alone. Soon, girls with heavy makeup approached and touched his chest. He looked cold and blocked their hands. I saw he had only finished a third of a cocktail, so I guessed his tolerance was low. My chivalrous spirit rose. How could I let him get drunk and taken advantage of because of my drink? I put on my boss lady act, reapplied red lipstick, and walked over in high heels, patting his shoulder playfully. "Had enough. Let's go home with me." The girls raised their eyebrows at me. I smiled and explained, "Sorry, my brother fought with the family, so I am taking him back." The 2 girls whispered and left. Just then, a hand grabbed my wrist. I looked down to see misty eyes, the corners curving seductively. "Are you my sister?" His gaze should have been cold, but alcohol made it warm like the moon reflected in water. My heart pounded, and I quickly changed the subject. "You are drunk, right? Boys need to protect themselves outside. If I hadn't come in time, you might have been kidnapped." "Yeah," he replied softly. I helped him up, and he didn't resist. Once standing, he spoke. "I am tall." This person, standing 6'1", leaned on me and almost knocked me over. I struggled to drag him to the elevator. There was a hotel upstairs, so I told him to sleep it off. Luckily, I knew the hotel owner, so I just used his ID to get a room. I struggled to get him to the edge of the bed. I was about to leave when my wrist was grabbed again. "Why are you holding me?" I looked where he pointed at the AC set to 16 degrees. "I haven't covered up yet. What if I get cold later?" Damn, this guy wasn't drunk to the point of passing out. He's still worried about catching a cold. I sighed, pulled the blanket up, and leaned down to help him lie down. Before I could pull back, he wrapped his arm around my neck and pulled me down. I fell into his arms, lips touched, soft and warm. Before I could react, he bit gently. "Sis, it is your turn to be covered." The alcohol rushed to my head, my face burning, but his hands were cold against my skin, feeling incredibly soothing. It was truly fire and ice. With a handsome man in my arms, who could resist? I tried to be rational, but 10 seconds later, half pushing and half yielding, I gave in. The next morning, birds chirping woke me up, my head throbbing. I reached for my phone but touched something warm and firm with resilient muscles. I identified it as a man's abs. In that moment, the glorious memories of the previous night flooded back clearly. Downstairs was noisy with boys gaming and chatting so loud I couldn't sleep. I rolled around in bed, not knowing what to do. Did Asher remember me? Why did he have no reaction when he saw me yesterday? Was he faking it or did he really not recognize me? What if he told Leo everything? I couldn't figure it out, so I texted my best friend Mia Jo on WeChat. "Leo brought a bunch of friends home," she replied instantly. "All handsome." I thought of Asher's face. "There is one. What are you waiting for? Younger brothers are young and fit. Don't you want him?" I could imagine Maya's excitement through the screen. "Where is that thin silk nightgown you bought? Wear it and pretend to bring fruit downstairs." I hesitated. "He is only 19, isn't that too young?" Mia was furious. "What do you know? Boys at 18 or 19 are the best. Try it and you will see." I rubbed my waist, remembering that night. Yeah, she was right. I was wearing the silk nightgown Mia bought. The fabric hugging my skin and highlighting every curve, sparking thoughts I dared not dwell on. I was thirsty. I got out of bed to find water and saw the kitchen light was still on. Asher was washing a glass with his back to me. Hearing a noise, he turned and looked straight at me. His eyes weren't hazy like before but cold. He lowered his gaze, slowly sweeping down my body. I reflexively covered my chest, feeling a tingling sensation wherever his gaze touched. Asher walked toward me, or rather, toward the kitchen door. I remembered Mia's nonsense about kitchen roleplay and felt guilty, quickly dodging to the side. He passed close by, smelling of light sandalwood. I glanced up and saw his Adam's apple move, along with that small mole on his collarbone. I froze. That mole was right in front of my face again. Blocked by him. I stepped back reflexively and hit the wall. Asher didn't leave but stepped closer. He was so tall that the air around me felt thin. Rather than believing he fell in love at first sight with his friend's sister, I believed he recognized me. My mind went blank. Asher spoke first. "Are you planning to pretend you don't know me?" Pressed against the wall with no escape, I looked into his eyes. His shadow blocked the kitchen light, leaving only a soft pink glow on his ears. He looked at me calmly, waiting for an answer. The gaming noise upstairs seemed to fade, and the street sounds outside muffled. The sandalwood scent mixed with a faint alcohol smell surrounded me. I blurted out, "Did you guys drink?" Asher pursed his lips, smiling yet not smiling. "Not as much as that day." I felt he wasn't going to let this slide, so I feigned ignorance. "What a coincidence," I said, trying to leave. But he grabbed my wrist. "Playing the stranger card now. How should I acknowledge you? Should I give you the Best Actor award for tonight?" I was speechless, but Asher stepped closer. "Let me remind you. That day before you left 3,000 yen on the nightstand." Honestly, I woke up that morning in a panic. While touching his abs, I was already thinking of damage control. It was consensual, but I was the one who took him to the hotel. Seeing him waking up, I shoved the lucky money meant for Leo onto the table and ran. I thought that was it. Strangers meeting once. I never expected fate to be so cruel, bringing him to my house less than a month later. That 3,000 yuan became an awkward exclamation point between us. I silently cursed alcohol 100 times, then begged Asher to keep it secret. "Don't tell anyone about us." He raised an eyebrow, scanning my face. "Show me some sincerity then. What is your name?" "Chloe." I used the name derived from my brother Leo's name. My parents named us hoping for a peaceful and leisurely life. "Chloe," Asher repeated, dragging out the sound like a hook catching my heart. A normal name sounded lingeringly intimate coming from him. I cut him off. "What do you mean by sincerity? I accepted your friend request, so add me on WeChat first." I wondered when I agreed to that. But Asher changed the subject. "What are you doing in the kitchen?" I couldn't admit I was thirsty. Cutting fruit for your friends. He hummed softly and glanced at me. Going out like this. I looked down at my green silk slip dress, smooth fabric hugging my skin, highlighting my complexion and curves. Put on a jacket. Asher looked away. Wearing this, it is enough for one person to see. I choked on his words, unable to speak, and ran to my room to grab a jacket before finding Leo. After the exams, Leo rewarded himself with a new phone. He added friends indiscriminately, making it hard to find anyone. I told him to just send me Asher's contact card. Leo was gaming and didn't look up, handing me his phone. What for? Did mom and dad ask you to supervise me? Focus on your game. I sat in the corner, opening his WeChat like a criminal. Sending Asher's card to myself, then deleting the message. As soon as I sent the request, Asher's phone on the table lit up. He was still downstairs. Driven by curiosity, I used Leo's WeChat to snoop on Asher's feed. I meant no harm, just browsing. Asher's feed was simple, mostly travel photos, basketball and cats. Occasionally, he posted about books and movies. Coincidentally, I had read those books and watched those movies, and I felt a thrill of finding a kindred spirit. I scrolled and found he rarely posted photos of himself, except for one from a year ago at the beach. Half-dark sky, blurred horizon, distant lights. He showed a blurred side profile, wearing a white shirt blowing in the wind, holding a wooden guitar. The comments were chaotic. Leo, going for an artsy vibe. Cody, go. So fake. Just the face is handsome. Some girl, he is tall and plays guitar. Older brother, some girl, he is tall and plays guitar. Older brother Kodigu replied to Gavin Zhang. Better side profile than me. Older brother Gavin Zhang replied, shut up. Older brother Asher replied to Leo, theoretically, I like it. Older brother Danny Zhang replied to Asher, who, the school beauty or that stalker? Below was a string of repeated comments asking who he liked. Asher didn't reply further. My heart sank when I read the name Danny Zhang. Danny was Leo's friend, sitting right there gaming. School beauty or the stalker? A multiple choice question with 2 answers. I felt sour jealousy. What was so great about a white shirt? How cliché to like the romantic lead style. I threw Leo's phone on the chair and stood up to leave. Glancing at the window, I saw I was also wearing a white shirt over my dress. I laughed and took it off, draping it over my arm. Looking up, I saw Asher standing at the door, leaning against the frame, watching me casually. I wondered how much of my performance he had seen. The AC in Leo's room felt colder. Sis, I want pizza, Leo yelled. I can't hear you. He yelled louder. Sis. Chloe. The noise made the other boys turn to look at me. One exclaimed, wow. I froze, realizing I had taken off the jacket, revealing my nightgown to the group. Asher stepped forward, shielding me and blocking their view. I will order for you. I want Peking duck flavor. Leo shouted shamelessly. He made a face. Sis, you look pretty today. My heart is struck. I cursed my stupid brother. Your head, he doesn't like girls. Back in my room, Asher accepted my request but only messaged. Your name is Chloe. He sent nothing else. Mia texted me. Did you bring the fruit? Did you wear the nightgown? Did he roll his eyes? I didn't know if he rolled his eyes, but I felt it was worth it. I lay in bed unable to sleep, thinking of Asher in that white shirt. The more I thought, the more annoyed I got. I decided to clear all white shirts from Leo's closet tomorrow. Who told him to wear that style and disrupt people's hearts? That night, I dreamed. I was wearing a white shirt. In the dream, I had just showered and couldn't find clothes, only a white shirt, so I put it on. I opened the door and bumped into Asher. He was towel, drying his hair, abs clearly visible. He asked, why are you wearing my clothes? I woke up, the sun was high, it was almost noon. Yawning, I texted Mia for lunch. I remembered Asher's abs from the dream. The room had been dark that night, but in the dream, they looked perfect. I did light makeup and went out. Mia arrived early, eyes shining with curiosity. So any drama? I didn't want to elaborate, just shared a few details and concluded it was a misunderstanding. Mia didn't push. She changed the subject. Which university is Leo applying to? Your parents want him close, but what about him? He seems to prefer the capital. If he goes there, you guys will be close. Keep an eye on him for me. Sir. While we talked, Leo called. Sis, Asher's house is being renovated, so he is staying with us for a few days. Buy extra food. Asher staying at my house, I couldn't hold back. But our living room has no bedding. Leo replied calmly, no need, he can sleep with me. What? That sounded aggressive. I remembered Mom suspecting Leo and the girl next door. Leo had yelled, Mom, don't guess blindly. If I like someone, you will approve. Thinking of this, I got goosebumps and refused. No way. Leo didn't insist. Then buy a quilt, buy one for me too. I need it for college, so I had to go. I dragged Mia to buy bedding. I chose a thin summer quilt for Asher and a down duvet for Leo. While choosing, I heard a happy voice, Chloe. I looked up. It really was him. Marcus Jung. I nodded. Long Tine introduced him to Mia. This is Marcus. I didn't say he was my ex, but Mia knew. Mia paused, looking surprised. Marcus remained friendly. I am going to Shanghai for work. I planned to visit your family today, didn't expect to meet you here. Beside him was a young girl. I glanced at her. He explained immediately. My friend's sister, just shopping together. Honestly, I held no deep grudge against Marcus. We met during an internship, he was a year ahead of me. Working in the same professional department, so we had frequent opportunities to interact. The office back then used to pair us up as the golden couple of the department. I didn't think much of it. Until one time we went out with the group, we both reached for a stack of postcards, and our hands accidentally touched. That day, Marcus wore gold-rimmed glasses, lowered his head, and smiled at me. I will give it to you. The sun was beautiful that day, and his smile truly made my heart skip a beat. From that day on, I started receiving a few small postcards. Marcus never confessed directly, but the two of us just naturally got closer. Later, I accidentally found out his dad was a close friend of my dad from many years ago. They just rarely met because they worked in different cities. So both families met up to catch up on old times. Marcus sat beside me and asked softly, "Do you want our relationship to take a step further?" I agreed. The relationship after that wasn't very turbulent, sweet at times, arguments at others, generally stable. Until a conflict happened because of a competition. We both made it to the finals of a professional contest. I was really looking forward to competing with Marcus on stage. But the night before, while having dinner, he suddenly joked. "Babe, maybe you shouldn't take the exam tomorrow." At first, I thought he was joking, until he clarified that he really wanted the title this year, and since I had won it before, he hoped I would voluntarily withdraw or tank the exam to yield the position to him. I don't want to remember his face at that moment. I couldn't accept my boyfriend having such thoughts. After I refused, he said I was selfish, too idealistic, didn't understand reality, and didn't know how to optimize benefits, so I initiated the breakup. I thought he was too calculating, while he felt hurt, saying I didn't understand human nature. The breakup between me and Marcus couldn't be hidden from the elders. Both families knew the reason clearly but still hoped we would get back together. Every holiday, Marcus's parents would still visit my house, while I mostly found excuses to avoid them. Meeting Marcus again now, I felt like a lifetime had passed. "Chloe, I really this time." Before Marcus could finish, I received a call from Dad. He said Marcus decided to go to Shanghai to find a job, didn't have a place to stay yet, and wanted to ask to stay at our house for a few days. Being an old friend, my dad couldn't refuse. I knew my dad was hospitable, and since Leo also lived with me, he didn't think too deeply about it and was completely assured. I could only nod in agreement. Decided beforehand, huh? I smiled slightly, tilting my head to speak to Marcus. Marcus also laughed, his voice a bit low. "Chloe, I came this time also wanting a chance to be closer to you so I can be at peace." I took a deep breath, no longer in the mood to continue shopping. I paid and prepared to leave. Marcus tried to grab the bags in my hand, but I turned my body to dodge. Just as his hand reached out, someone tapped my shoulder from behind. "Chloe." I turned around and it was Asher. He had changed into a blue and white color, block shirt, tall stature, long legs standing out in the crowd. I bought that outfit for Leo, but clearly Asher wore it 10 times better. I said nothing. Asher didn't rush to speak either. Just smiling faintly at me. My ears suddenly felt a bit hot. "Why are you here too? Heard you went to buy quilts, afraid you couldn't carry them." Actually, it wasn't that bad. Down comforters are vacuum-packed and light, not heavy at all. Asher reached out and took both bags from my hands. Carrying things in both left and right hands, he still looked composed as if shooting for a magazine. "This is Asher." He glanced casually at Marcus, his tone neither salty nor light. I introduced simply, "Colleague from another department." "I see your brother, Chloe. Long time no see, you have grown so tall." Marcus looked at Asher a few times, mistaking him for my brother, so his voice was somewhat friendly. Asher didn't stand on ceremony, raising an eyebrow. "In the department where you also call her Chloe." Then I am afraid. I feared he would say something weird, so I hurriedly reached up and brushed down his hair that was sticking up as a signal. Yeah. Everyone calls me that. Just be comfortable." He was much taller than me, I couldn't reach and had to tiptoe slightly. Asher paused slightly then understood, lowering his body a bit. The obedient boy bowed his head, high nose bridge, thick eyelashes clear like a painting. My heart skipped a beat. I was just about to pull my hand back but suddenly felt like messing up his hair, ruffling it all up. Asher let me mess around, then in a moment he looked up, eyes locking with mine, eyes hiding no possessiveness. My hand froze, he suddenly leaned close to my ear, whispering so only I could hear, "As long as you are happy." Then he stood up straight. "I will drive the car over, let's go, sis Chloe." Finished, he turned to look at Marcus with challenging eyes. "Uncle Marcus, you catch a taxi yourself." Marcus, a grown man calling me sis, his intentions were definitely not pure. Mia was full of energy. Seeing Asher, she leaned close to my ear and mumbled, "You have to take advantage while Marcus is in nostalgic X mode to push the attack." Surprise attacks work every time. Just thinking about Marcus gave me a headache, so I messaged Leo beforehand to prepare. Arriving home, I saw him already waiting at the door. I casually greeted Marcus and he immediately handed me a postcard. "Here, just arrived today. This guy is really diligent. Sending postcards to Chloe all day, huh?" Mia had recovered her spirit, waving the postcard in front of Asher. "Starting the assist mission, you have to hurry up too." Asher nodded, suddenly asking me, "Do you think this postcard is beautiful?" I frowned. Although Marcus and I broke up over a year ago, he still sent postcards regularly, only I never replied once. I wanted to decisively crush Marcus's hope, so I kept a straight face. "Not beautiful at all. I don't like these kinds of things anymore. Sending them is just a waste of effort." Saying that, I didn't look at Asher but looked straight at Marcus, hoping he understood my meaning. Because of that, I didn't notice Asher's expression turning cold. Leo was oblivious as usual, not realizing the undercurrent between the three people, casually telling Marcus, "Our house doesn't have many rooms, probably have to bother you to sleep on the sofa in the living room." Leo knew the story between me and Marcus. Inherently disliking him, so his words weren't polite. Marcus realized it too, but when he saw Leo, he immediately understood Asher wasn't my brother. "Then who is this guy?" "My friend is also staying at our place." Leo lied without blinking, then conveniently pushed me into the room. "Sis, help me change the duvet cover. I will entertain Marcus." I was momentarily touched. Although Leo asked me to change the duvet cover out of laziness, I truly didn't want to interact much with Marcus. Him helping me dodge like this was considered very good. But how to change this duvet cover? I vaguely remembered Mom showing me once, following my memory to fumble around for a while. The down duvet got stuffed into a messy big lump inside. Asher leaned against the wall watching me struggle for a while, suddenly speaking up. "Need reinforcements. You know how." I looked up happily. Asher slowly closed the door, taking the duvet cover from my hands, fingers brushing lightly over the back of my hand. "Can cook, do laundry, massage shoulders and back. A loss, free investment." I was truly speechless at that sentence. I watched Asher finish changing the cover in just a few moves, choking for a long time before saying one sentence. "You know how to do a lot." "Yeah, when I was small. Parents weren't around so I had to take care of myself." Asher looked at me as if starting to recount a childhood full of trauma. I was preparing to listen when he suddenly changed his tone. "So I am very afraid of being abandoned by others." The moment that sentence was spoken, I felt guilty in an inexplicable way. And feeling guilty brings bad luck. Just then, I heard two knocks, immediately startling me backward 2 steps. My foot tripped over the duvet bag, and I fell backward. Asher hurried to pull me back, resulting in me pulling him down too. The two of us fell into the pile of blankets together, his breath surrounding me. Unable to move. My ears burned hot. Outside the door, Marcus was still calling in, asking if we could talk a bit more. While inside, Asher maintained the posture shielding my head, hand gently squeezing my neck once, voice low but clear. "Reject him, I am jealous." That feeling of a hand pressing on the back of the neck made my whole body go numb. Only a long time later did I realize Asher's sentence about being jealous wasn't a joke. His display of jealousy was quite obvious, like not giving Marcus a private room. Every time Marcus tried to talk to me privately, he would intervene. Even at night when I just stepped out to get water, Asher quickly went to the kitchen to get water and brought it to my room. And Leo fully cooperated with Asher. Usually, he spoke little, not even greeting people he wasn't close to. Yet in just a few days of Marcus staying, the two of them talked from poetry and painting to life ideals, talking until Marcus, a genuine literary artist, wanted to go crazy. Finally, Marcus's intention to rekindle old love failed. When leaving my house, he looked wretched like he was fleeing. After seeing Marcus off, Leo laughed coldly, summarizing. "Just graduated high school but trying to play mind games with us. Knave." Leo's college entrance exam results were very desirable. After getting permission from parents, he successfully applied to a university in the capital. The day he received the admission notice, he invited close friends to the house to celebrate. The earliest arrival was Danny Zhong, hugging a pile of snacks and candy into the house, eyes darting around right from the door. Where is the school beauty? Where is the school beauty? Is she coming? What school beauty? Leo was confused. Who else but Bella Chen from our class? Danny was eager for gossip. Heard in the group she would gather at your house. She heard Asher was coming, so she demanded to come immediately. Leo looked bored. These girls are truly blind, why stick to that handsome narcissist? Which girls? I asked casually. It is Mia. Leo paused. There is also Mia who is crazy about him too. You guys are boring. Danny was splashed with cold water by Leo, so he changed the subject to me. Sis Chloe. Honestly, there will definitely be drama today. After the college entrance exam, Bella confessed to Asher, the whole grade knew. Everyone praised them as a talented and beautiful couple. Guess how Asher reacted? He deliberately created suspense, but hearing the words school beauty, I felt uncomfortable, looking at him expressionlessly. Seeing I didn't react as expected, Danny sighed and continued. He just said exactly 4 words: study hard. Finishing exams and still telling people to study. Tell me, isn't that annoying? Bella was humiliated but became even more obsessed. Now with scores out, she continues pursuing Asher. Don't know how Asher will handle it this time. Sis Chloe, I brought a bag of sunflower seeds and some melon. Tonight let's eat melon and watch drama. I nodded. Yeah, I got it. So Danny's gossip spirit was completely extinguished by me and Leo. He sulked, hugging his phone in the corner to game, simultaneously texting Mia. Tonight a bunch of girls chasing Asher are coming. Mia texted, so did you hire a makeup artist to come to the house to transform Sis Chloe yet? Not needed for now. I thought, when needed I would probably have to call her. Maya, call me for what? You have no ambition. If you don't win Asher, don't come back to see me. Mia refused my invitation to team up for games and forced me to sit still at home, focusing on beauty and preparing a fighting stance. I had just finished drawing one eyebrow with the pencil when I heard Danny shout. They arrived at the apartment gate. Hurry out to welcome them. I froze. The left eyebrow was done. But the right one wasn't sharp yet. Deleting it was a waste, drawing more wouldn't be in time. I fell into a dilemma. Suddenly someone took the pencil from my hand from the side. Asher sat down on the chair next to me. Let me. He knew how to draw eyebrows. I was still dazed when he used the back of his hand to gently support my chin. The gentle scent of wood on him wafted over, incredibly pleasant. His eyes looked at me intently. His fingers held the pen gently. His pinky finger occasionally brushing lightly against my cheek. Every movement was light like water, carrying the warmth of sunlight and sea breeze. I stared at Asher until he coughed softly. Don't. I snapped awake. Realizing my ears were burning hot, I was slightly embarrassed. Thank you then. First time drawing, so a bit stiff, practicing more later will be fine. He spoke naturally as if exchanging makeup experience. At this moment Leo walked out from the next room. Says I told Danny to stall them outside to eat something first. Yeah, go ahead. I wasn't familiar with Leo's friends, except for seeing Danny the most, the rest were rarely seen. No appetite, I held a salad bowl and sat fiddling. Around 7 or 8 p.m., they returned. Hello sis. Danny led the greeting. Behind was a noisy group. Curious gazes immediately poured toward me, some curious, some scrutinizing. We planned to play games indoors. Leo shoved a box of fried chicken at me. Sis, take your share. I hugged the chicken box, walking straight to my room, not planning to join. Oh, then you guys play. Play together. Asher spoke up, voice gentle. I pretended not to hear. Continue. I hadn't taken a few steps when my wrist was grabbed. All eyes immediately focused on our hands. But Asher remained calm as if nothing happened. Playing truth or dare. When it is Leo's turn, he will ask you. Damn, my heart wavered a bit. I didn't think Leo would be so cruel as to make me wear bright red lipstick and sing. Love is dedication. I grit my teeth and sat down. Leo, you really are my good friend. Truth or dare is truly immortal. Whether to force people to reveal their faces or dig out their hearts and lungs, it is always a weapon of drama and romance. I was watching Danny do a handstand reciting poetry, then heard a blonde guy tell a story about secretly loving someone. When it was Leo's turn, before he could draw a truth or dare card, Danny snatched it and dared him to call the first person in his contacts to confess. This was too cruel. A girl timidly spoke up. What if they misunderstand? Whole class open contacts to see who is first. Danny grinned like he was sure it was the homeroom teacher. Mr. An was the homeroom teacher of grade 12. I also opened my phone to look, discovering the first person in my contacts was indeed Anne. Everyone cheered excitedly. Hurry, hurry, call. Leo's face changed color slightly. After all, a teacher is a dignified figure, students always fear them. He muttered. This is a dare, not sincere. I immediately felt a sting in my heart. Ruling out the possibility that Leo had a crush on Mr. and which was quite absurd, there was only one possibility: the first person in his contacts wasn't the teacher. Who in the contact starts with the letter A? I couldn't figure it out. Leo didn't perform that dare either. He would rather put on lipstick and sing than make the call. Danny had to change the subject, saying singing was much more fun than calling, then skipped it. After a few more rounds, the wine bottle spun to Asher. A girl wearing a white dress, clearly dressed up intentionally today, boldly asked. Do you remember the WeChat post from last year? On the 1st of the month, the photo where you wore a white shirt. Under the comments, you replied to Leo with the word like. Asher nodded. Today he was also wearing a white shirt, top 2 buttons undone. Exuding a lazy charm, Danny started making a scene. Oh, Bella is so bold, isn't she? So that girl was Bella, the grade 12 beauty queen. I glanced at her. Her face was flushed, eyes shimmering as she looked at Asher, asking shyly yet firmly. I just want to ask who the person you said you liked in that comment is. Is that person here today? She bit her lip. Waiting, it was the look of a girl looking at the person she liked, full of expectation and slight trembling. She was truly pretty, but Asher was completely unmoved by that shyness. This question has 2 parts. Danny was even more impatient. Don't be so stingy, tell us. Yeah, don't play mysterious. We are dying to know. I also started to get nervous. Although I didn't want to admit it, when I heard Bella ask that, I was truly tense. Asher's hand resting on my back was playing with the stray hairs at the nape of my neck. I didn't even realize when he had moved to sit behind me. I will only answer one of the 2 parts. Choose. Asher spoke with utter calmness. Danny suggested to Bella. He can dodge the first question, but for the second one, there aren't many people here. The scope is clearly narrowed. True, there were only 4 girls in the room. Excluding me, there were 3 left. The probability of being named was very high. I held my breath. Bella took a deep breath. I choose the second question. Is that person here? The room was silent. White curtains swayed in the wind, carrying a slight chill. I narrowed my eyes as the familiar sandalwood scent wafted by. Asher curled his lips, his voice clear like an ice cube thrown into a calm lake, creating ripples everywhere. Yes. Bella's expression changed immediately, while the boys around screamed in excitement. Oh my God, who is it? Who? Asher, you are too cruel, say the name quickly. My heart is about to stop. Are you making us use the process of elimination? Someone screamed like they were crazy. Danny feared the chaos wasn't enough. Who likes the guy in the white shirt? Bella, do you like him? Asher didn't reply, just said indifferently, answered. Continue playing, truly too much. Who had the mood to play now? Everyone started discussing noisily. I felt like there was a thin transparent film between me and Leo's friends, no matter how loud they were. I only sensed Asher. As soon as I heard him answer, I immediately looked over. My heart had an answer, but I still wasn't sure. Asher also tilted his head toward me, eyes smiling, lowering his head to whisper so only I could hear. Sis, control your gaze a bit. Truth or Dare played to the end. Everyone drank a bit more wine, then played a few rounds of cards before someone suggested going to karaoke. I wasn't going, feeling a bit tired. Asher's face was slightly red, half lying on the sofa looking like he was about to get drunk. Are you going, sis? Leo asked me. Before I could hesitate, Asher answered for me. She isn't going, she is staying home to take care of me. Don't do that, it bothers Chloe. Danny pretended to be kind. Just let Bella stay and take care of him. Bella hesitated for a moment. I am a guest. Guests shouldn't stay to take care of sick people, right? Leo grinned, pushing Bella and Danny out the door. Go ahead, sis. Asher is entrusted to you. Very quickly, only Asher and I were left in the room. I stole a glance at him. His head leaning on the sofa, eyes closed, eyelashes trembling slightly. The room was so quiet that only breathing could be heard. The atmosphere was a bit strange. I couldn't help but remember that night. Awkwardly, I went to the bathroom to get a wet towel and handed it to Asher. Wipe your face a bit. Asher's voice was even. I am drunk. So, does a drunk person have anything to do with a strong grip? Are you sure you want me to explain clearly? He suddenly grabbed my wrist. The strength didn't feel like a drunk person at all. He pulled me down onto the sofa, arms circling behind to block my retreat. Looking like this, do you plan to eat and run? The young man's eyes were no longer cold but burning and invasive. The distance was too close, so close that our breaths tangled. I lowered my eyes. You posted that photo in the white shirt on your feed. It was because of the photo you posted with the comment like. At that time, I didn't even know who he was. Asher frowned, his voice dropping lower. That was after the college entrance exam last year. I blinked. Last year, I opened my phone to check and realized. That day I had nothing to do. Eating ice cream alone near the exam site. Accidentally seeing students flooding out. Amidst that youthfulness, I saw a boy in a white shirt. Though I didn't see his face clearly, his straight posture made me remember. Moved, I wrote a line on my feed. Youth is beautiful. There are always boys in white shirts who make people dazed. The comments below were full of jokes like, older brother 6 in my village, also wears white shirts. Or, is this an ad for laundry detergent? Only one strange account I didn't know commented one word. No. I didn't pay attention then. Now Asher took out his phone, logging into a secondary account right in front of me. This is my side account. When you were in grade 12, you gave water to the basketball team, right? The group said someone brought a dozen bottles, very cool attitude. My face darkened. What do you mean by cool? Don't interrupt. Asher raised his hand to cover my mouth. I just felt you were really impressive. Hearing you liked morning jogs. I wondered if we could jog together. Then I tried asking your name and if I could add you on WeChat. You replied, kid, focus on studying. Don't think about nonsense, not even giving me a chance to ask your major. Later when you treated the group to a meal, everyone added each other. I took the chance to add you, but you refused, leaving a message, not adding online sellers. Actually, I truly deserve to be single. Even if Cupid tied a red thread for me, he would probably be strangled by the steel wire. After that I asked Leo about your hobbies, then created a side account to time sending postcards for 3 years. It turned out I had mistaken the sender of the postcards for 3 years. Seeing my shocked expression, Asher couldn't help laughing, reaching out to pinch my cheek. What are you thinking? I couldn't stand that gaze, so I covered my face with my hands. I want quiet. Don't ask who quiet is. The misunderstanding about the postcards for 3 years made me feel incredibly guilty toward Asher. So I secretly planned to kick Leo out of the house for a few days to be alone with Asher, starting the fire near the straw. Unexpectedly, before I could start the fire, I was sent on a sudden business trip. The location was Hangzhou, but strangely, this was the first time I went on a business trip with such high spirits. Whatever I saw on the road, I wanted to snap a photo to send to Asher. The desire to share increased like never before. After finishing work, I walked by Westlake as usual. Passing the Xiling Seal Art Society, I stepped in to buy 2 postcards, wrote my home address, stuck stamps, and carefully drew a small heart on the back. I calculated that by the time I got home, the postcards would arrive and I would receive them together with Asher. I sat on a boat touring Westlake. An old boatman sat in front. I admired the scenery while buying a lotus pod to eat. After peeling the seeds, I put the 10 husks on my 10 fingers, took a photo, and posted it. New nail set. Leo commented. 3 years old, really? Mia replied to Leo, then how old is the brother of that 3-year-old? Leo replied. Why do you always defend outsiders? Friends commented. Is it tasty? My mom commented, bring some back for mom. Most comments were joking laughter. There was only one single line from Asher. Very beautiful. I stared at those 2 words. My heart sweet as if filled with Westlake honey. What was he doing right now? Sitting on the sofa reading or watering the tulips on the balcony? I imagined Asher typing. His long fingers with distinct knuckles, fingers that had brushed my forehead, held my waist, so gentle they made it impossible to resist. I sat on the boat smiling like an idiot. The boatman quietly took out a bottle of medicated oil. Young lady, do you need some? No need, uncle. I am falling in love. The old man nodded understandingly. Then let me sing a song for you. Beautiful scenery of Westlake in March. Spring rain like wine, willow like mist. Fate brings us together from 1,000 miles. The old man rode and sang while I continued to hold my cheeks and smile foolishly. The scene was truly incredibly harmonious. Mia called me. How is the weather in Hangzhou? Dry and sunny. Hearing your voice, I know you are in a good mood. Heh. Asher said my green nails were beautiful. Mia choked on the phone. Beautiful my foot, you liar, don't you know shame? I replied jubilantly. Maybe in the eyes of the lover, I turn into a beauty queen. Mia, aren't you afraid of being bewitched? Surely you are going drinking tonight. Every time I went on a business trip, I would find a bar to have a few drinks to de-stress. Not drinking. Leo asked me to do something. He texted me to stop by a bookstore to pick up a few things on the way. I didn't ask much. The bookstore was named Wushenju, located right next to Westlake. I took an electric cart there. When I arrived, the sun was setting. The slanted twilight covered the sign, Shijin, exuding silence and gentleness. The shop owner was a young man in his 20s, scholarly figure, very clean demeanor. Hearing my name, he immediately handed me a book. Asher's friend, right, Asher. I was a bit suspicious but took it, asking casually, just this book? Yeah, wait a moment. Asher had left an instruction. He turned to call Wang Meng. Which page? Which line? The employee gaming behind the counter looked up. Page 8, line 17. Just then, the music in the shop changed. The melody was Like You. As the first line played, I heard Asher's voice in my head. I slowly opened the book. Between page 8 and 9, a postcard was clamped. My heart beat fast, my eyes scanning line by line. I stopped at line 17. The singing voice in the speaker was like a whisper in my ear. Like you, eyes trembling. And in front of my eyes were 4 words. I like you. As soon as Leo received his admission notice, the whole class invited each other back to school to meet the homeroom teacher, Mr. An. They planned to go by bus. I drove to pick Leo up, but he complained. You only have 2 seats, who can you carry? Just take Asher first, have dinner with us tonight. Asher didn't stand on ceremony. Opening the door to sit in the passenger seat. Let's stop to get the cake first. I tilted my head to look at him. Today he was wearing a white shirt again, clean and neat. Seeing my suspicion, he explained, didn't you say Mia wanted to eat cake from the newly opened shop? I ordered it, let's eat together tonight. I muttered. You really have an answer for everything, a plan for every situation. He fastened his seatbelt, whispering, only for you. Not looking at me, but through the rearview mirror. I clearly saw his ears turning red. I parked in front of the bakery and went in to get the cake. The shop was crowded, so I had to wait a bit. Through the glass door, I saw Marcus and his friend's sister coming out of the restaurant next door. Marcus recognized my car, looked around, then his eyes met mine through the glass. He mouthed a few words, then walked quickly toward the bakery. Just as I predicted, planning to explain that the girl was just a friend's sister. I was thinking of a way to escape when Asher stood blocking the door. I just opened the door and heard Marcus's annoyed voice. I have tolerated you for a long time. Does what I say to Chloe concern you? Do you want to ruin our relationship? Asher had never sounded so cold. Marcus, if you have moral issues, don't impose your standards on others. Where are my morals problematic? What do you consider Chloe to be? Pursue if you like, if not suitable then spread rumors she is easy to trick. Do you think everyone is a fool? Since you broke up, play the role of an ex properly. Please, be a decent person. For her sake please, stay away a bit. Saying that. Without waiting for Marcus to get red with anger, Asher grabbed my hand and pulled me into the car, stepping on the gas and leaving Marcus in the dust. I sat in the passenger seat watching him, feeling he was genuinely angry. I deliberately reached out to scratch his chin teasingly. When did you start having feelings for me? Asher didn't look at me, his voice a bit choked. I am not angry because of him. I am angry because you are always yourself. Everyone in your eyes is an independent individual. I was stunned. Why was he suddenly talking like he was reading a philosophy book? Asher stopped the car, held my hand, eyes serious. Mia told me the story between you and Marcus. I know it made you doubt yourself. But if loving someone requires betraying your own moral principles, then that person isn't worth your love. No matter how beautiful his reasons are, wrong is still wrong. Don't let feelings be used to accuse yourself. Asher was rarely this serious. After speaking, he felt a bit shy, flipping down the sun visor, whispering in addition. Of course, if you truly like me. You certainly will never doubt that. The restaurant Leo booked wasn't far, we arrived quickly. The rain had just stopped, the air becoming pleasant after the heat. The restaurant hosted an outdoor barbecue, everyone ate, drank beer, and chatted happily. I sat with Mia while Asher sat next to Leo. None of us joined the conversation much, but our eyes kept unconsciously turning toward each other, meeting then dodging, only to secretly smile inside. Mia was the only one who knew the situation. Whispering as she looked at us. Lucky it just rained, otherwise the gaze between you two would burn the grass. She was still giggling when Asher tilted his head to look at me again. I winked at him then lowered my head smiling, feeling a bit cheesy lately. I messaged him on WeChat. What are you looking at? Asher didn't answer the question directly, just type. Let's walk by the river later. The restaurant was next to the river. After the meal, many people usually walked by the river to catch the breeze. Mia immediately grabbed my hand, whispering excitedly. Oh my god, preparing to confess, right? Hurry. Hurry into the bathroom to touch up lipstick and fix your hair. She pulled lipstick from her bag and shoved it into my hand, dragging me up as if to push me onto the stage. I didn't object either. After all, tonight I only wore sunscreen and a little blush. So I washed my face, reapplied lipstick, fixed my eyebrows, then went to the riverside railing to wait for Asher. Passers-by walked past me. There were couples teasing each other, a girl walking her dog alone, a young boy jogging. Occasionally, laughter rang out, added to by car horns and crickets chirping from the grass. Everything blended together, creating a sound that for the first time I felt was a nocturne that soothed the heart. Just then, I heard footsteps. Turning my head, the young man in the white shirt stood not far away. The river breeze carried the cool scent of water, brushing past, making my hair fly gently. I tried to hide my burning face but couldn't hide anywhere. Asher looked at me intently, his eyes gentle but firm. I have fulfilled the promise. I was stunned. What promise? He smiled and spoke softly. When we were small, Leo once promised to introduce his most handsome friend to me. I almost held my breath, my heart pounding rhythmically. So who is that person? He stepped closer, raising his hand to gently tuck my wind-blown hair behind my ear, a soft smile blooming as the cool breeze soaked into my ears. That person is me.